If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. I post a new Tom Brady video every day.
RC, you're giving no respect to the Falcons. You give them no chance?
Listen, they got a chance because they get on the field. I'm not picking them. I wouldn't put $1 on them. I wouldn't put a quarter on it. I wouldn't put a penny with a hole on it, and that's even hopeless.
Okay, yeah.
I saw a crazy stat about Matt Ryan's record against his Tampa Bay team. It's terrible. His career-wise, he's not been good against them. His career record against Tom Brady is terrible. I don't think he's ever won a game outright against Brady in his career, so kind of scary.
Well, just moments ago, Laura, the NFL announced suspensions for 3 players, 3 games each, including the Buccaneers wide receiver Antonio Brown and the safety Mike Edwards for violating COVID protocols, having what they believe to be fake vaccination cards. The league doing an investigation into this particular situation. Each player now suspended 3 games without pay.
All right, obviously we have 2 guys suspended. The league did their due diligence, and we move on. I will not address those guys for the next 3 weeks. They'll just be working out, and then we'll address their future at that time. Other than that, there's really nothing to say. Out for this game would be Jalen Darden and Jordan Whitehead. Everybody else will be a game-time decision, and it's a big game for us. It's a division game on the road, and I know everybody wants the other story, but we're playing the Falcons. I don't give a shit about that.
Of all the superstars on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tom Brady has the highest passer rating when he's throwing the football to Antonio Brown. When you look at who ascended in the playoffs as this team made its Super Bowl run, it was Antonio Brown. You think back early on this season, we saw some shades of Antonio Brown continuing to be that #1 receiver that we saw him be for 6 years in Pittsburgh. And I think we forget that 6-year run in Pittsburgh wasn't just great for this era. It was historically great. And Antonio Brown still has some of those things. And when you look at the Mike Evans and the Chris Godwins and the Rob Gronkowskis, I think Antonio Brown is as important to Tom Brady and the success of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense as any of those humans are. And so when we look at this going down the stretch, it's important that Antonio Brown be a part of this team in order to make that run. It's not as important as it pertains to this week because he hasn't been playing up to this point for the last 6.
Well, the bigger issue is Mike Edwards on defense, and Graziano alluded to this. This game that they're playing on Sunday, this game that they're playing against Atlanta, they played Atlanta a few weeks ago, and that was a 3-point game going into the 4th quarter. And then all of a sudden, that dude right there, Mike Edwards, showed up and had 2, not 1, but 2 pick sixes in the 4th quarter. Some of us have played the game. We understand, man, sometimes you play good games against certain teams. Every team you play against, you just ball out against them, right? Mike Edwards balled out against the Atlanta Falcons. Without Mike Edwards, to an already depleted secondary, I think that's the bigger issue than not having Antonio Brown here. Antonio Brown is one thing, I get it, but he's been down. He's been out these last couple weeks, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers still got a top 2 offense. Mike Edwards is the issue.
Let me just show you some numbers here. The Bucs, hey, look, we know they have an abundance of great pass catchers, but Brown might be the most impactful. They're 5-0 with him, 3-3 without him this year. With AB on the field, Tom Brady's QBR is higher, the air yards per attempt higher. He's thrown half as many interceptions. So this does feel like it could be something meaningful. Bottom line, Nick, will they need Antonio Brown at some point? It's not going to be the next 3 weeks, but will they need him to get where they want to go?
Yeah, but I'm confused. Is the Super Bowl in 3 weeks?
Oh, it's not in 3 weeks, no.
Yeah, it's like February 13th?
It's February 13th.
So what are we talking about? He's fine. It's 3 weeks from now. He's recovering right now. He's still got an ankle. Why would you push him out there too fast anyway? Let him have a few more weeks. He wasn't going to play the next 2 weeks anyway. So 3 weeks he's out. I don't think it's an issue. He's going to get back. He's going to be healthier, and he'll fit right back in where he was at.
He's been hurt for a while now and was going to miss the next few weeks anyway. I think this would feel to us, just sitting here, like a much bigger deal if he had been on the field regularly and all of a sudden this was taking him off the field.
So let's start off by just what happened this last weekend, both what the Bucs win did and what other games happened that could influence the Buccaneers playoff chase.
Well, obviously the Bucs took care of their own business with a big win on the road. In terms of tiebreakers, it wasn't the most important game because it was an AFC opponent, but still keeping pace with the Packers, who also won, and Arizona was idle. So what you end up with is the Buccaneers staying in the 3rd seed, but getting a little bit of distance because the Rams lost and Dallas lost. So the Bucs are pretty solidly in the 3rd seed right now. Because of that, those losses by the Rams and the Cowboys were good for the Buccaneers. Also, Minnesota lost and San Francisco won, which shook things up just a little bit in the standings.
Okay, and so what are the standings as they are right now?
So Arizona is still holding on to the number 1 seed at 9-2. They did lose to the Packers some weeks ago, so the Packers have that tiebreaker edge in the race for the number 1 seed and the only first round bye available now that it's a 17 field. The Packers improved to 9-3, and the Buccaneers are 8-3, so a half game behind the Packers, who are now going into their bye week. So the Buccaneers could tie the Packers for the 2nd spot with a win in Atlanta, but they would still be in 3rd because of conference record, which would be the first tiebreaker for the Buccaneers against either the Packers or the Cardinals. And right now, the Packers have a really good NFC record at 7-2, while the Bucs are 5-3. So games like this one in Atlanta are very important to the Buccaneers as they try to improve that conference record, which will be the first tiebreaker that will come into effect with most of these teams at the end of the season.
Bucs, Falcons, we may have a surprise coming for you here. Is it coming from Graziano? Who you got?
It is not. I'm going to take the Bucs in this game. Look, their offense is functioning at a high level, and in a lot of ways. Leonard Fournette had a 4-touchdown game last week. They can run it. They can throw it. I think they got a lot more than the Falcons.
Is it from Ninko?
No. I'm going with TB12. So
let's put Bucs. Look, death, taxes, and Ninko's got Brady to win this weekend. Now, that one we should have seen coming. Is the surprise coming from RC?
Hell no. That surprise is going to come from somebody else. I'm going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a team that at least offensively, since Rob Gronkowski has been back, is playing a ton better. That's going to have to be somebody else's pick.
Coach, you've seen Matt Ryan now for years. What do you see there?
I see quality, man. He looks younger than he has in 4 or 5 years. He's running more. He's doing some things. Still got a great arm, and he's extremely smart. I've been impressed with Matt for a long, long time.
Okay, and then I think it is so good to just remind everybody, because of some of the new things like that 17 game and the 1 bye and all of that. If the season were to be ending now and that things were exactly as they are now at the end of the season, what would that mean for the Buccaneers?
Well, Arizona would get that number 1 seed, and then all 3 of the other division winners would start the playoffs with a home game against one of the wild card teams. And since the Buccaneers are right now the 3 seed, they would get the 6th seed. And last week that was Minnesota, but Minnesota lost and San Francisco won, and the 2 teams essentially switched places in the standings, and now San Francisco is in at number 6. So if the playoffs started now, or if these standings were the same at the end of the season, the Buccaneers would have a home game against the San Francisco 49ers.
All right, so I'm a little late on our victory post. Been a busy couple of days, but ready to get back at it, and happy to be 8-3. Now we're on to Atlanta. Huge division opponent on the road. Doesn't get any bigger than this, and it's December football. We will be ready to go.
That's it for this video. I post a new Tom Brady video every day, so please like and subscribe. That way you'll always have a new Tom Brady video to watch every single day. Thanks for watching.